Hello again, this is A.J. Wildman. I'm continuing this series on the American Peasant Party platform's proposal video briefs. Okay? Now, we have gone over so far cost of living proposals related, jobs and business related, and now we're going to hit a group that's what I have categorized as big issues. Now, the 6 proposals under that are as follows: Citizen Common Agreement, U.S. Population Management, U.S. Reemployment System, the National Drug Reform Program, ending hard drug use in America, renewing the military and public service system, and zero tolerance of free will crime. All right, now, the first issue here, the first proposal, is what I call the Common Agreement. Now, when I wrote CS2 and published it in self-published it in early '08, I didn't focus on things like the cost of living. That's why they come out now, because they're really more and more relevant, because so many people are struggling to get by month to month. And I didn't really get into the climate that much at that time, but you'll see we're going to get very heavily into that towards the end of this series, all right? Because that is a really urgent issue. Now, this other thing I've come up with, the third issue that kind of I've played with over the last few years, is something I call the Common Agreement. Because the country really doesn't, as far as I'm concerned, have a plan. Where are we going? What are we doing? You know, what is the objective other than every man, woman, and family for themselves? That is really not the way it's supposed to be, especially I don't believe in America. So I have this thing called the Common Agreement, the Citizens' Common Agreement, because again, most of what I'm doing is generated and written for you, a citizen, American citizen, the common good of our citizens and our families and our communities, the good of our economy and the good of our society. So the Common Agreement is something that I'm proposing. This is rough, but you'll pretty much get the flow of it. It's fairly quite simple. We're going to talk about some of these other programs that we're going to talk about here, and in the next session on family-related proposals. All right, kind of dovetail right into this. So, didn't know exactly where to put it in those groups, so I thought I'd lead out with it. So the idea is that a citizen, an American citizen, has certain expectations of the government and of business and of society, right? The economy. What should they expect? Okay? The other side of the coin is, what responsibilities or duties do each of us have to that system, to the economy, to the society, to our fellow Americans, people in our communities? Okay? So here it is real quick, and I'm sure this will we get down the road with this, this will get a whole lot of play back and forth. All right? So you go back to the basics. What do people need? I said to myself, okay, so what does the average person need? I'm getting a little older, and I know a lot of older people. And I see, well, what at the end or in the beginning, what do people really need to have on a day-to-day basis to make them comfortable? All right? So, and we'll go all this down. The first thing I'm going to go down here is the expectations or guarantees to an extent. Okay? Not entitlements. That's an ugly word at times. So you start out with what? What's everybody need? What are the basic needs of life in this society, our society? First, of course, is shelter, housing. I believe that each American is entitled to a fixed address. We have over 670,000, the last number I heard, homeless Americans, and that has to be brought to an end. We have more than enough housing to take care of all those people. And I think one of the states out west, Nevada, Utah, actually has been getting people that were homeless into homes and into some type of a decent little housing unit. And it's done great things for the community, cut down on crime and yada, yada, yada. Good stuff. So each American citizen will be guaranteed a track towards a fixed address. Maybe not something they own, but a place that they're going to have their address, they're going to have their name, and they're going to know that all things considered, we have other programs that talk about this, they're going to have a home, a place that they can call their own and have some attachment to it, even if it's a rental, a long-term situation. Okay. Next, food. That was proposal number 1. We're going to have food for all of our people. We may eventually, as we decide how to deal with food distribution and we're going to be planning for food distribution over the next several decades, all right, we may very well change from a grocery store system, except for the more higher end stores like Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and places like that. We may turn all the grocery stores into civic or civil commissaries, just like the military has commissaries, and people get good prices for their things. Everything else, the groceries and the food system, the farmers will still be paid for, but people will have food. No one in this country should go to bed hungry. That must come to an end, and that's what this is all about. Okay, this is what our system, our economic system, should generate these things. Next, healthcare. We will have cradle-to-grave healthcare. Period. There's an expectation on the other side about that healthcare, but healthcare will be provided. Healthcare, dental care, and vision care. All right, we will deal with these things. What else do people want? They want to sound funny. They want cable and/or satellite service and 2 premium channels. All right, you get 320 people signed up for that. You should get a really great group rate. Right? It sounds funny, but this is practical stuff. People also need a cell phone. They need a phone. Those things, and this, I'm not saying give. I'm just saying these things need to be coordinated and priced at a rate where people can afford them. Also, transportation. Okay, I don't mean give somebody a car. I mean people need access to gasoline, whatever, for the car that they're going to drive. Transportation, basically more than anything else, to provide them a way to get to and from work. Coordinated carpools, whatever, but those are the basic things as I see them, right? Sure, entertainment, whatever, depends on how much money people have and how we work that out, right? We're not going to turn into some kind of a socialist, dream come true, because that's not good. But certain social programs are practical in every country in the world. That's why most every other country in the world has health care for everybody in their country. We don't. Now, flip side, responsibilities. Well, we're going to talk about this pretty soon here in the next proposal. We're going to have a national ID system. Every American, everyone walking on our soil will have a national ID in the next couple of years if we do what we should. That way we don't have to worry about building any stupid wall on the southern border. That's ridiculous to begin with. All right? But we're going to have a national ID system. We're going to sort everybody out. Everybody's going to have a national ID, and the police need to check your ID. Fine. I don't care if the police check my ID. I'm not doing anything wrong. I belong here. So no big deal. And again, we're one of the few countries in the world that doesn't have a national ID system. And it's like that because certain parties in this country want all these illegals to come in and fill up their rental units, or they want them to come in and be cheap labor, right? So we have to bring that to an end, because as we talk later on about the climate and about population, you're going to hear, your eyes are going to be open about a couple of things we really have to confront. Now, beyond that, the citizen will not commit crime. Simple statement, all right? We're going to get to that also. Crime will not be tolerated. We're going to get harder and harder on that, because if we give these people, satisfy people's certain expectations, then they should be able, they're going to turn the other, not turn the cheek, but they're going to be responsible for being a good civil citizen. Good. They will get a high school education. They will get their high school diploma or GED, right? They will work for that. There's plenty of programs around to do that, and we're going to make it even easier. Actually, a requirement also. Beyond that, people may get a 2-year degree. We're not going to give everybody in the country a 4-year education. That's impractical financially, and not everybody needs or wants a high school or a college education. That's the fact. People that say they are ready for it and they want to do it will probably go with a 2-year community college education. But if they bomb out in the first year, they're not going to get money for the second year. All right, they're going to go back into something else. Beyond that, people will get vocational training. There's plenty of vocation. We're in a service-oriented country, in a society now, or a service-oriented economy now, and as you're going to be finding out, we're going to have an awful lot of building, because when that water comes up, Okay, we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be building towns and cities on higher ground. So this all ties in together. Let's see. They will be ready. People will be ready for work, if at all possible. People will make themselves ready for work. Okay, they'll go to work every 5 days a week anyhow, if not 6, and/or they'll be ready for training to get them ready for work. Everything's oriented towards getting people ready, educated as needed, and ready for work. No question. We will also, promote through a revised health system that we're going to have now. We've talked about that. People will be encouraged strongly to get their health under better control. America has a serious issue with too many pounds, all right? So employers and educators will start encouraging people to get themselves in better order. Their physical condition is simple. Not trying to offend anybody, but well over 50 million American adults are pre-diabetic. And if you have never known anyone that had diabetes and saw what diabetes can do to people, diabetes does different things to different people, and quite often it is not pretty and it is painful. So they talk about A1C levels now, whatever, on the TV. We need to turn the corner on that. Every American needs to try to lose 10 or 20% of their body weight if they need to. That's just for better health. They'll feel better. They'll live longer, live a better life. Another little thing, one of those little dark things we're going to have to deal with is teenage pregnancy. We really have to discourage teenage pregnancy. All right. I think that women and their daughters and high school people should meet in middle, probably middle, definitely high school, and have a very private discussion for avoiding teenage pregnancy. We don't need daycare centers in high schools. This is stupid. So we're going to try to get away from that. We're going to deal openly and frankly with birth control, and we're also going to deal with the morning after pill. Okay? Like I said, we have to deal with some serious issues and quit pussyfooting around with it. All right? Frankly. So we need to deal with birth control and the morning after pill. And in case you didn't know it, all right, the morning after pill is available, they say, to people at pharmacies. Great, go ahead. Now, if somebody can't afford, for whatever reason, a condom one night, how can they afford to go to the pharmacy? And I checked pricing on a couple of pharmacies today, just for this piece. And the brand manufacturer price for a single pill, morning after pill, is $49.99 for one. The generic form of that pill is $39.99. So this is where the pharmaceutical industry is playing us, and they're also playing nice to the church people who don't want morning after pills and they don't want birth control. And frankly, I am a born-again Christian, all right? I believe in my faith, and if you're not a born-again Christian, that's your right, all right? Everybody's different. What people believe, I don't care, all right? Everybody just has to be good citizens with each other. So the morning after pill is going to become a reality. We may have to give them out free in high schools to help curb this problem. Because, it's a little side note, I worked in New Orleans for 3 years, all right? And I was working at a Home Depot there, designing kitchens, all right, for 3 years. Very nice kitchens out in New Orleans. And there was a young black lady, probably mid-20s, that worked there. And she and I were talking one time, and one of the first things she was proudest of in her life thus far was the fact that she avoided getting pregnant as a teenager. And she said it made a whole lot of things easier for her. And now she was planning on having a family. So anyway, so enough said on that. But that's the common agreement. It's a give and take. But the thing is, we take care of our people, and our people are supposed to take care of the society. And everybody wins. There's probably enough on that. That's probably the longest one I've had so far, and one that I'm very, very serious about. It's just, if we start looking at this and working towards something like this, we're going to have a better society. A lot less crime, many more happy families. So that's all for that for right now. And take care, and I'll see you in a little bit. We're going to talk about U.S. population management. Take care.